Dog, did I tell you an Asian chick came up to me today and solicited me when I went to buy this fucking bong? And I gotta tell you something, it blew my mind. Like, all my circuits went.
What'd you say?
What do you think I said?
No, what'd she say?
It was the most subtle fucking thing in the world. It was an Asian girl and a white girl.
Okay.
Did they look like hookers? Not in a million fucking years.
White girl was the muscle?
White girl was the smoker. Okay. Chinese girl was in there. Short skirt, nice shoes. Did she pass as a hooker? Not in a million years to me. So after I got in the car, I made a left and I made a right just to see if the cops were following me. I was on Lancashire, and I pulled out of there, and I went to the gym, and I made that sharp left. And then when I got to Tahunga, I made the sharp right, and I made sure there was no cops following me. It scared the fuck out of me.
After she propositioned you?
She propositioned me in the weirdest way. Okay, so after I got in the car is when I really thought about it. I've never liked Lancashire. In fact, who got propositioned 5 years ago at a club in Lancashire? Lee Syatt. Guys, Lancashire
creepy as fuck at
is
night.
creepy as fuck at night. And the Ha Ha Cafe is there. But now it's on the other side. And I haven't seen nothing creepy on that side. It's really nice on that side of Lancashire. Lancashire is cut in half by Riverside, maybe, or one of those, Camarillo, or one of those, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not fucking map. Google it, cocksuckers. But the other side, when we first moved here, Lee lived in Sherman Oaks. So at night, we would do the podcast, and we would meet at night at the Ha, and we would stand outside and see the amount of women walking by single. And I would sit there and go, something's not fucking right. Because they're not walking on the club side. Remember where the girl took you and propositioned you in the bar?
Right, yeah.
Whatever the name of that bar is, Stinkies or Sketchies. If they were walking on that side, I get it that they parked and walked to the club.
Right.
But they would walk on that side. And they were, A, always dressed okay. B, they didn't look hookery. They were pros. They didn't make eye contact with you, but I would sit there and go, what an uncommon amount of single girls walking on Lancashire every fucking night.
Yeah, you wouldn't think there were hookers.
Right, especially when the action's that way. Okay, so the train gets off.
Okay.
But that's still fucking 4 blocks from the fucking train.
Yeah, at least.
What woman would walk fucking more than 4 fucking blocks at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at fucking nightly? So something wasn't right. And then I saw somebody started telling me more. I asked, Junior, and I asked Jack, and they started telling me by that corner, that mattress store, there's a hotel. There's a hotel off Lancashire. You make a left. Right when you pass over that, there's a vitamin store. I used to get weed there. I used to do the theater there. That first right, there's a hotel in there.
Okay.
And I didn't see him till that day there. I saw a black chick out there like a year later in the daytime. And then I put 2 and 2 together. So, nothing. You know me, dog. Now, years ago, when I first lived in Sunset, there was one day I went outside and there was cops everywhere with fucking guys running away from cars and shit. And I found out later that if you pull over for a hooker on Sunset, okay, so think about this, that if she propositions you or you proposition her, I really don't know the rules, that they give you a ticket and they take your car. So, dog, when I was on Sunset and if I saw those things, I just looked straight and fucking put the windows up and locked the doors just in case, Lee. I didn't know in those days. In those days, Sunset was really bad,
I would always think that they would be the cops. How could they not? I don't know if you remember. I don't think you ever went up there, but I used to live on
Van Nuys.
No, even worse, Sherman Way in Sepulveda, and driving up and down Sepulveda at night, it was like what they tell you hookers look like in movies.
No, but they in cars?
No, well, a couple times, like I would see them, like this one time at a gas station, one pulled up and they went and got condoms. There's a Ralph's over there on Burbank, and a couple of them got dropped off over there, I saw. but most of them are just walking up and down. The craziest one was when I was going to work at like 9 in the morning, and there was one walk still at 9 in the morning. I would always think one of those would be a cop. I would never just pull over, especially now with all the internet stuff. Oof. And even I don't think the internet people would be cops too. So I don't know. I don't think I could ever do it.
Well, today was the slickest move ever. I couldn't go to jiu-jitsu because I still didn't feel it. So I had a meeting. I left the house about 10. I went to the weed store. I dropped the baby off at school first with my wife. I went home. I sent some emails. Boom. 10 o'clock, I went to the weed store. I had to go to CVS. I had to pick up some notebooks for tomorrow. And then I shot over to the coffee shop and I wrote for a while. Then I went back to the house, ate lunch, and then I went to my 1 o'clock meeting. So this is what I'm trying to chronological the day is so people know why my mind is blown. I went to the meeting. I probably talked to the guy for like an hour, 15 minutes. I got in my car. I remembered. I missed a call from Lee because my phone was in my bag. I didn't know that at that time. I got in my car and I shot over to get the bong. I was thinking about calling you because I was hungry at that time. I was a little hungry. And when you don't eat for a day, you want to eat something dirty. Like you crave grease. Like the other night I told my wife I craved donuts at 2 in the morning. Those powdered donuts that come in the 6 packets that are disgusting.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten those in
Delicious.
20 years. That's how sick I was.
Oh, we didn't even finish that conversation.
So I got to Riverside. I went to Lancashire and boom, I parked in front of the bong store.
Right.
And as I walk in, there's a white girl with an Asian girl. Now between you and me, the Asian girl's got to be 28, 29. She's, I don't know what descent she is. She's not Filipino or darker or Thai. She's either Japanese or Chinese.
And just like a 7, like not like super pretty, but like
Pretty face. No, pretty face did not look like a hooker at all to me. And then the white girl was like a 7 too. You know, they were both dressed okay, whatever. And then I went in, the guy goes, hey, give me 1 minute. Good to see you. What happened? And I go, we left the bong in the bathroom and somebody stole it. So he rang them up. And then he walked over to me. And they stayed looking at candy, you know, the places.
right.
And he goes, which one? I go, give me that one. And he goes, it says 40, no discount. But I go, just keep the 40, bro. You're a good dude and shit. And as I grabbed the bong, she was right there. And she goes, nice bong. You want a party? And I didn't know what the fuck to say, Lee. You know me, I just froze. She
Yeah.
had to be 28 years old. I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. And I go, me? No. I gotta get home. I'm running late. I said something cowardly, something stupid. And then as I opened the door, I let them go out first. And that's when she turned. She goes, I don't know what type of party you were talking about. I'm talking about a real party. You could either have me or you could have both of us. She goes, we could work something out. And I just looked at her and kept walking, Lisa. Beep, beep. I opened up my car. I got in it. I started the car and I drove away like a little fucking sissy that I am.
Did you get like a boner?
No.
No.
I had the opposite of a fucking boner. I had the feeling that the cops were about to jump on me from every direction just for opening up the door for them. And I was going to get shaken down on Lancashire in front of all my friends, and people would see me and my wife would ask me what happened. And that's what I was fucking concerned about, because that, you know what I'm saying? That's what you're concerned about when you're a fucking...
Fuck. So none of it was sexual. You thought it was a trap.
I just didn't understand why a woman would say that at 3 in the fucking afternoon, Lee, if it was even that. On Lancashire Boulevard.
She's an entrepreneur.
No, I didn't know. Nothing. Something didn't smell fucking right, dog.
I don't blame you. I don't think I would.
Dog, I would never solicit them anyway, and I would have never... Sometimes they talk to you, and you know, like, you get a feel, like, if it's a black chick and she talks to you, sometimes you... Oh, fuck yeah, you gotta have fun with them. You just can't dismiss them and run away. Like on the way out of the MGM Grand at 6 in the morning to catch a plane. Hilarious. They'll come right up. You know me, I always get a coffee and I try to smoke a joint and play a fucking video game for 10 minutes before I get in the fucking car for $20.
And at 6 a.m. they just come right up to you?
5 a.m. They'll come right up to you and you know what? They'll sit there and you know what, man? You could talk to them and break their balls. Like, they're like, come on, honey, you still got your room key? Fuck yeah, I still got my room key. What do you think? You want to go upstairs and have a date? Come on, cancel your flight. This is the best pussy you've ever had. And you just keep fucking playing and giggling. You know the cameras are watching you. So I don't touch them. I don't even make eye contact. I just go, listen, the cameras are watching you. Sit tight. Show me the fucking goods. Let me see that. Speak to me, oh toothless one. Or I'll say something crazy and they'll say, show me the cash. And I go, listen, I got to catch a 6:35 flight. I got shit to do. And they giggle. And they run away, or they'll ask me if I was in a movie, or if I was in the longest ride, if I want to have a date, and I giggle with them. These chicks were too uptightly.
Jesus.
There was no foreplay. There was no what type of reefer do you like. There was no type of, I've seen you on Periscope.
No salesmanship.
There was no salesmanship. If they were undercover cops to do something. And it was funny because when I drove around, I saw a cop car on Magnolia. Again, that's my drug dealer, old school paranoia. I do not do cocaine anymore. I wouldn't be paranoid. But it's funny, by the time I got to Magnolia, I saw a cop car patrolling. So you never fucking know, Lee. You never know who the fuck you're talking to. Can you imagine, Lee? What would you do? You go into the, you're nice Johnny Sweetness. You asked me, you want me to go buy a bong? And I said, no, I'll go. What would you have done if you would have fucking walked in there 3 in the afternoon and China Wong and her fucking hot assistant, no money was ever said nothing.
See, I was kind of stupid. I was like, maybe she just wants to smoke the bomb and then hook up. Like, when she said party, I was like, oh, maybe.
Fuck no. When a girl looks like that, she has her own weed. Why would she want to smoke with some fat fucking old degenerate like me? Are you fucking crazy? If she would have came to me and said anything else but the way she did, I would have probably been in jail right now because I would have talked to her. And then you know what I would have done? I would have goofed on her.
What do you mean goofed on her?
I would have asked her for how much, and she would have said 500. I go, 500? Come on. I got like $22.50. And then she would have said, $22.50, what does that include? I'm one of those idiots.
Right.
Because I like to make fucking fun of them and shit. Like, how about I give you...
Yeah, you've done that for years.
$32 and a pair of fucking socks from Bloomingdale's.
Yeah, your torturing could have almost got you on, like, to catch a predator or something.
Yeah, so I didn't even... If they would have had a sense of humor and said, listen, we'll call girls, we're staying at the hotel down the block. Are you interested in going to a party? I would say, nah, how long you girls been doing this? I would have done like a fake background check and shit. Maybe I'll have some Armenians go over there and visit you. I don't know nobody. Who the fuck do I know? I know who you fucking know, me.
I was thinking, we were talking about it in a different way, but I was thinking about it in this way, man. LA is a crazy fucking place. Just, like, in the place where I grew up, I would never there would never be someone propositioning someone. Like this place is crazy on every fucking level.
When I was growing up, I never saw a hooker on the streets of North Bergen, New Jersey, Union City. I didn't know where you contacted them at that age. I didn't know, and I didn't want to know. When I got to be about 16, there was a rumor going around on a woman that lived on 81st Street, and whenever the light was on, you knocked on the door, and for $40, she sucked your dick.
Oh, $40. I would have done that every day.
$40 in 1980 was really $80, Lee. I never went over there. I was always scared. But that was the only direct. I didn't know what she looked like. I never met her. And then years later, I saw hookers in Manhattan. They used to hang out by that fucking thing by the Lincoln Tunnel. It's funny when, my daughter goes to school in the area. There's a park close by.
It's the worst park.
And it's so funny that sometimes I'm driving at 9:30 in the morning and I'll see a fucking hooker. And me and my wife would just look at each other like, what the fuck?
It's 9:30 in the morning.
Were you with me one time when we saw one and with Josh Wolf over at the thing and she waved?
I saw her years ago. I don't know if you remember. We went to Panera one morning randomly before the podcast even started. I think I don't even remember why we were there. And the girl with the blonde hair that would always walk through the surrounding towns. You saw her and you pointed her out, and that was like years ago. That was like at least 3 years ago.
She was black with a wig.
Yeah, with the blonde wig.
And I showed her to Josh Wolf. I used to see her all the fucking time, and one day I was like, oh my God. I saw her by Gelson's, by the white supermarket, and she was banging those old Jews in the corner. She was taking their fucking lunch money and sucking their dick. You think I'm kidding you? Who else goes to Gelson's? Mexicans don't go to Gelson's. Black people don't go to Gelson's. Jews and these fucking Gentiles go to Gelson's. So she would fucking suck dick over at Gelson's. There's no cops ever at Gelson's.
No, that's a good place to suck dick, I guess.
Mike Ronnie went to pick up. We used to deliver appliances.
What kind, like fridges and shit?
Yeah, like.
Did someone buy them, or you just found them?
No, we would get subcontracted.
Oh, okay.
And you would deliver the washer and dryer and shit.
And
Yeah.
we'd have to go to this place. We pull up at the place, and there's 30 air conditioners on the loading dock. I go in, I give the guy the bill. No cameras in those days either. I give the guy the bill of lading. He gives me the paperwork. The retard kid comes over. I'll help you with the refrigerator. He carries it in. Then the guy gets in his car, one of his buddies. I'm going to get high. 50 fucking air conditioners in the thing. I go, Mike, open up the back of that thing. What are you going to do? Just shut your mouth. We started putting fucking air conditioners in that thing. 10, 20. I was like the UPS man. I took every last air conditioner.
All of Brooklyn had air conditioning on that block.
Jersey. We dropped off the refrigerator and we turned that motherfucker around and we just drove down the boulevard. $100 a piece, an air conditioner. It's July. It was June. It was like stealing.
Oh, yeah.
We sold them with them 1 hour.
I'll bet.
We split the fucking money. I went over to McGrath's house, my 8th grade teacher, my football coach, the running back coach.
/ bookie.
And I bought 1,000 of those little gram bottles of Coke from him.
Oh, my God.
And I went out with my friends. I told I was going to meet him at Joe and Mary's, but I took like a fucking Quaalude. And me and my buddies got fucked up. I woke up the next morning, I left it stiff. So, and we did the same shit every week. Tuesday was McSorley's Ale House. Shillelagh's was in Jersey City. 30 cents for an Alabama Slammer. And 5 cents for a mug of beer till 10 o'clock.
Damn.
At 10:01,
5
you
cents?
couldn't find a friend.
Yeah.
At 10:01, the place was vacant. It was fucking crazy.
We're out of here.
10:01. At 9:45, people would get 3 mugs and 3 drinks. Like you see people drinking out of 3 straws and shit. Wednesday was ladies' night at the Dome, and Thursdays was another ladies' night. So we detected them because they were 50 cents drink. So come here. Here's a 10. Go buy you and me 6 oars a drink and bring me one. You know, so,
6 oars.
So for $7, you were a hooker. You were
Hell yeah.
Really? Yeah, I'm a big shot today. Well, so I saw her down there, and I apologized to her. I'm sorry. In fact, I saw her on a Wednesday down there, and I said, I'm sorry about last night. I got fucked up. And she goes, I said, how about dinner tomorrow? And I took her to Piccolissimo in Fort Lee, New Jersey, like a doctor. There was adults that hadn't been to Piccolissimo. I forget what the guy's name was. The guy has a weird name. He's missing his stomach, though.
What?
He owns the restaurant.
It's always something.
That's not a good sign.
Hold on, I'll find
That's a hell of a curse to own a restaurant and be missing your stomach.
The stomach had a dish called lobster fra diablo.
No wonder he burned his stomach out. No wonder he doesn't know.
Okay.
Fra Diablo.
His name of this thing was lobster fra diablo.
Yeah.
His name was Johnny Monaco. And he owned Piccolissimo. He had no stomach, so he'd always be fucking like looking at your food. And I go, Johnny, eat a clam. I can't. You know, I got no stomach.
I have never met somebody without
I was a kid, and I'm going up there fucking giving orders. Because we'd get like a score, and I'd go up there and drop money. Give them a drink. Give them all a drink, you know. Go ahead. Don't worry about nothing. And people would get pissed. It was like that scene when Belushi went to the restaurant and Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was white people in Fort Lee. And I would go up there with 16 gorillas. So I took her on a date up there. They brought you a dish. I'm not even exaggerating. It was this big that looked like a fish. And in the middle was pasta. It was surrounded by clams, mussels, and shrimp, to the deck.
God
and
damn.
then on the top,
made me
two
hungry.
big lobster tails that were cracked open with red sauce on top.
Oh.
No. De pinga. You'd put your little thing on. She was in heaven. She's eating this fucking thing. Then we get out of there. I take it down by the Binghamton. The Binghamton was a boat that you could go on and have a few drinks. There was a movie theater there. That's why I saw 48 Hours and Ghostbusters. But outside of there,
Your memory is something
if
else.
you snorted coke out there after like 20 minutes, you'd hear chick. The rats from the Hudson River would try to chip away at your car. It was fucking crazy.
At your car are coming
It was
out?
crazy. And Fernie Basasudo had a hole in his car. So we had to put a fucking piece of 2x4 over it whenever we went down there to make out with chicks and shit. You know, we used to drink beers and throw them out of the hole.
Oh, that's great.
And people be driving going, what the fuck?
That's all that rust. My buddy had a Volkswagen with floorboards rusted out too. His foot fell through one time on the highway. Oh shit! He's like, he's yelling. We're trying to stop the car. His foot's through it.
So I take this little Tritches. Her name was Lisa Tritches, and she had a sister named Sue. She looked just like Pat Benatar in the first video of You Better Run with the red and white shirt on. I even made her get a red and white shirt. I'm gonna go get a red and white shirt on.
Yeah.
You're looking like Pat. We started swapping spit, and I started eating her pussy. And she started, and I remember she used to put talcum powder in the pussy, because when I opened it up, a bunch of it came out and hit me in the face. You know what I'm saying? And that bitch is on Facebook. She ain't dying of ovarian cancer. She's kicking. She's from Jersey. But she had a shot of talcum powder hit me in the face. And I ate her pussy. She was banging on the top of the car. I had her out there fucking both legs eating. I put a Coke rock on her pussy. No dick. I cut her off from the dick. No dick tonight. I'm dropping you off at home, and don't even look at me sideways. And then I went over there fucking Friday night. I dropped her off like a gentleman, and we made plans Saturday night to eat a pussy. Saturday night I was gonna fuck her. And we went out, went to a party. I got into a fight in the party. My hand got stuck in a barbed wire fence right here as I was he was taking me down. I stuck my hand in the fence and went in. I'm like, God damn it. Cops came. Me and my boy and her and a piece of ass she had, Tasia Romano. Tasia Romano was a hot piece of ass. But
Tasia Romano. That's a name right
listen
there.
to this. This was one of those bitches that for 6 months she looked good. And for 6 months she show up looking like Lee. So I used to call her Tasia Romano Big Fat Piano, because she would go, then for fucking 6 months she would not eat a thing and she'd puke and vomit. This bitch was fine to the bone. And Stinky, my friend Stinky, used to give her the Maluk stick for her. So now we're double dating.
During what 6 months?
He gave it to her like over 4 years every once in a while.
In the winter.
So Tasia took Glenn to the other room. I got Tritches in the other room. Now she's playing Catholic girl. She's starting to cry. I don't know. It hurts. Don't put it too close to my pussy. I got a half gram in my pocket. I don't need this aggravation. You know what I'm saying? So at 6 in the morning, I go, listen, get your life together. We'll go throw some holy water on it. It's like it never happened. I was a gentleman. And I go, listen, I got a half a G in my pocket. This will get me home. And I walked home. And guys, this as I walked into the door where I was living, the phone rang, and it was her. And she goes, I thought about it. Let's do it. I'm like, all right. And she picked me up. It was 7 in the morning. Went back to her house. I gave her a stab, and there was blood. There was tears. There was a lot of rubbing the back. And then you gotta rub that back.
I was gonna say, who's back?
I gotta rub her back. She was on me. I'm not a virgin. I'm gonna go to hell. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
there's
the
plenty
guilt,
of dick in hell. It's a
Catholic
party.
Guilt.
Let's start this fucking thing. So
Damn.
And guess what? Like a week later, I saw her. She was very cold to me. Then we had a couple of like weird discussions. I was totally in love with her. Like I was in love with her for reals. I would have gotten married at that age. Like that's how in love with her I was. But after those 2 weeks, I was like, you know what, something ain't right here. This is something beyond my control. And I was a criminal. I had no future. And I couldn't see there was no future. Like, there was just no fucking future. So I kind of walked away from her a little bit. I went to Colorado. I heard she was dating some other guy, eating pills and partying and shit. Good friend of mine. I never held it accountable. Never even mentioned it to him. That was, me and her were long gone. And then I went back to New York one day and I went to a coke dealer's house. And there she was, looking beautiful. She said hello. We talked a little bit. And she said, let's stay in touch. And between you and I, in my mind, the coop had flown already. It wasn't that I wanted to fuck her. I really liked her. I grew up with her. I've been around her for the last, since 1978. I'd been around this girl. But something wasn't right, and 6 months later I called her because she was a travel agent. And I asked if she'd get me and my buddy Stinky plane tickets to Hawaii. And she goes, call me tomorrow. I'll give you a quote. And when I called her the next day, she goes, I got to be honest with you. I'd rather you never call me again.
Really?
Yeah, just like that. And I said, okay, que sera, sera. At the age of 21, I got one of my biggest lessons of love. Fuck them, send them roses, and move the fuck on. Thank you very much for listening. I know for a fact that for some people, 60% of people listen to this podcast are probably jumping up and down right now. They won't even listen to this podcast by Monday. But there's a lot of people, 40% of you, that need this podcast. This time of the year isn't the best time of the year for everybody, and I get it. I have a family, I have a wife, I have a kid, I have dear friends, but it seems like you're missing something when you're not around your family or a family member's gone. It doesn't feel like Christmas anymore, but it still is. It still is. Last week I did the one-man show at the Comedy Store, and I covered a certain time in my life from 93 to 95, and I'll never forget Christmas in 94. Christmas in 94 will always stick with me forever for 1,000 reasons. I made something out of nothing. I woke up with $3 in my pocket and stole a Christmas tree and got $180 cash and got Chinese food and stole a bike and made Jackie, my first sibling. That was the last time we saw each other, but I still remember her leaving that night and me feeling like death. I remember putting up the decorations with duct tape. I didn't even have money to buy Christmas tape. I had that little stuff you put around your apartment. I don't know, the glitter stuff. I put it up with duct tape. And I got Chinese food delivered because it's the only people that are open on Christmas Day. And we had a nice day together. I had 1,000 gifts for her and a bike and this and that and this. And I remember her leaving and me breaking down like I usually did. And it was Christmas, so there was nowhere to go do comedy or anything. And for a minute there, I'm not saying I felt suicidal, but I just didn't feel good. That you don't feel that day that you don't. Christmas Day, some people get up, man, and it's not Christmas Day for them.
I can imagine, especially after growing up as a kid and having presents under the tree. And
yeah,
because Hanukkah's a whole week, it's a little different.
It's not Christmas Day, for some people. And I'm really sorry you feel this way. It's something that the holidays kind of bring them down. We were going to take this week off, but like I said, no. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about this and why you feel this way. And it was so weird that night when she left with her mother. I sat there and, I was just looking around. I was probably getting ready to make the call to get a package. You might the go thing when things got bad. A package would make it feel better. And somewhere along that, I remember looking at this little apartment, maybe the size of this office, and going, what do I feel bad about? I think I was getting dressed to head to a party or something like that. Somebody had invited me over to a Christmas party, because you're never really alone on Christmas unless you really want to be. Somebody always reaches out and says, hey, man, you want to stop by, and as bad as you feel, you stop and you get a bottle and you get an apple pie or whatever. Once you get to that place, something about that place, you'll see the magic of Christmas. And the magic of Christmas, I was talking to somebody on the phone yesterday, and I go, listen, what are you going to do for Christmas? They said, I don't know yet. I go, what are you going to do? You going to sit by yourself? I go, swing. If there's a problem, swing by. I go, you have no idea what a hug from a 6-year-old will do for you. It'll change your whole perspective on Christmas. For some people, it's just hitting a table and going, looking up and looking at strangers. You ever been in that position on a Christmas day where you pop your head up and you're looking at all strangers And you ask yourself, how did I even get here? Well, the universe took care of you. Again, the universe takes care of you as much as you don't think it's taking care of you. The universe is taking care of you. I've been, you know what Christmas is on the road, Lee? Do you know what it's like to go out on the road and Christmas wall is on a Thursday, and you're in Ohio, so you do Tuesday and Wednesday, and Christmas Day, you pretty much stay in your room and watch the parade of roses. There's no budget for you to fly to see mom or to see your brothers, nothing. So it's one of those Christmases where you're by yourself. I did 4 or 5 of those on the road where you're there. You're in Fucknut, Indiana. And it's you and the headliner on Christmas Day. And he's got a friend in town. And it's you in this apartment. And you're sitting there going, Jesus, what has my life become, you know? And all of a sudden something stops and says, wait a second. You're doing what you would wanted to do. This is part of the bargain. So you get up off the couch. You go down to the nearest Walmart that's open till 1. There's a bunch of old senior citizens. They're 3 days away from the grave. And you look at their faces and they're happy to see you and they're welcoming you. And you go in, you buy a $1 Christmas tree, you buy a bunch of treats, you go back to the house, and you watch Christmas programming, and you eat your little snacks, and you smoke your couple of joints, and you take a couple of sips of your beer, and it wasn't all that bad. Just by stepping out of the house and making you see some guy that's got 3 days left on his life saying Merry Christmas to you, that does something to you. All these little things do something to you. And that's why I don't want you to, number one rule for today is, I don't want you to be alone. You spent some time with Uncle Joey, get out of the house. Somebody invited you somewhere. Even if it was just to watch a game. Because you never know what could happen when you're watching a game, whatever. Is there a football game tomorrow? There's got to be something. A college bowl game. I think the Lakers are playing, the Clippers. There's something going on, you know. Do not be alone. But back to 94. I'm sitting there, I'm crying. And all of a sudden, something happened that made me open my calendar. Like, I don't know what it was, to see what I had the week ahead. I've always had a calendar. And I remember having like 3 spots that week. Like having like 3 real spots. Like 2 guest sets of clubs and like 1 paid gig. And it all swirled at me then. That I was grateful. I had never been grateful before. You have no idea how being grateful on Christmas Day makes you feel. Because most of us are sitting there thinking about what we don't have. And you really have to think about what you do have. You know, there's a guy that's part of the church family since day 1. I met him through Rogan. And I don't know if he knows this. He inspires me. Hold on. Yo, Mercy. You want to crinkle that paper a little more?
What?
You want to crinkle that paper a little more? No. All right, then. Jesus Christ, yo. I'm over here trying to do a podcast, and you're over there crinkling papers and stuff. So I got to deal with, this is what happens when you don't have school and you got to drag your daughter with you, but I don't mind. I'm going to have her with me all day. I'm going to take her to a couple places, get her out of the house, give the mom a breather. Because if not, she'll torment her mom. At some point, I got to get her to the park to do 1,000 little zip recruiter things and go back and forth on the monkey bars. If not, she'll be jumping up and down all night. Tonight's a bad energy day. But in the middle of all this, once I became grateful, Christmas has changed. You know, Joey and I and Lee were talking about mindsets. When you do things you don't want to do, it all changes depending on how you go into it. Listen, going to the gym sucks. You go into it, next thing you know, you look at the clock, you're halfway there. Next thing you know, you look at the clock and the guy's going, all right, we got our 8 last minutes. Let's turn up the heat a little bit. And you're out of there. And you were like, what was so bad about that? You know, it's getting yourself there. I don't even know how we got on the topic.
You were saying something about someone from Rogan.
For what?
Someone from Rogan, someone you met through Rogan, inspires you?
Yeah, and his name is Kern Michael. Michael Kern Michael. I met Michael Kern at a Rogan concert, and this kid's in a wheelchair. I don't know what his condition is or whatever. God bless him. The guy doesn't give up.
You see he's walking now?
Yeah, he's fucking walking. You think the guy's not grateful? So next time you're sitting there in pity of yourself because you lost your job, your girlfriend dumped you, she got pregnant by a different Puerto Rican. You know what? Go look at Kern Michael's page and see if there's any pity in his page. See if there's once has there been pity on his fucking page. See if there's a picture of him all mangled up. No. It's pictures of him walking. It's pictures of him with no shirt on. Then he shows up to shows with bitches. For all you motherfuckers that are waiting for the next coming of life, this guy's in the wheelchair getting his dead dick sucked. What are you doing? What are you doing? You know, you think about it. You really have to look at somebody like Kern Michael to really appreciate life and go, what am I doing with my life? This guy is in a wheelchair. And he's walking around like Jesus. Remember when Jesus was hitting those people in the head and they started walking? So I look at that guy there and I go, what am I doing with my life? I got to go make people laugh and I'm depressed. I got to go make people laugh and I have anxiety. I'm scared. I mean, you have to, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, but while you're sitting there falling in pity for yourself on Christmas, there's somebody else that's in a tent.
Yeah.
There's somebody else that's in a shelter. There's somebody else that's under observation for psychiatric reasons, for whatever it may be. And here you are sitting in your apartment watching the Rose Bowl parade, like, you know, thinking about pulling a Chris Cornell. No. Look at it from a different angle. Look at it from how grateful you are to have what you have. Your mother might be an alkie, but guess what? At least you got a mother. You don't see me going to my mother's house. So whatever you might be thinking that Joey's going to Bert Kreischer's or Tom Segura's and they're going to be jumping up and down, you got your mother. I don't have a mother. So we all have our little personal Vietnams. But from December 23rd to January 6th, they all go away. Listen, what are they going to do? Put you in debtor's prison? What are they going to do? Put you in jail because they're going to evict you? They can't. Listen, be grateful for what you